Hello everyone, today we're joined by Eva Hussain, Polaron's director and founder, as well as Emilie Pause, our project and client liaison officer for German citizenship. They'll be discussing the changes to German citizenship legislation. Over to you, Eva.
Thanks, Stephanie, and welcome to you, Emilie. Thank you for agreeing to talk to us today. And today we're going to be talking about the new changes to the German legislation, which happened a couple of months ago. And I remember you staying up all night watching the German parliament passing or not passing. It was a bit nerve-wracking. But tell us just an overall view of what happened and what's changed in the new German legislation to do with citizenship.
So there's two things that have changed from this new law that came through on the 20th of August this year. One is that women can pass on citizenship to their children before 75. There are some criteria, like you have to be born after the 23rd of the 5th, 1949. But previously, mothers could not pass on citizenship, German mothers, until 75. So this is really broadening the scope quite a bit and allowing women who lost their citizenships due to marriage before 53 to also pass on citizenship. So even if your mother married a foreigner and lost her citizenship through that, you can still gain citizenship and she can regain citizenship, which is sort of a huge step in fixing the gender discrimination in citizenship law.
Right. And this is actually quite common in many other jurisdictions, in many other countries. It's just that other countries have fixed it earlier than Germany. And I guess it's to do, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, with the way that the German government has always protected citizenship as something really quite sacred and therefore didn't want to make changes unless everybody is agreed. And it was a little bit painful. It took a long, long time to get this right, yeah?
Well, it took a big court case in 2020 to actually come to this decision and for the parliament to actually legislate it. In Germany, the Constitutional Court found that there was discrimination in the law, and courts don't make law in Germany, so there's no precedent that's set. So the parliament actually had to go back and draw up the law to actually enforce it.
Okay, so this sounds like it's opened up many, many doors to people who were previously not eligible. But they've also introduced, is my understanding, some other avenues towards getting citizenship or made something easier. Could you maybe take us through that briefly?
They've also opened up restitution. So previously for restitution under 1162 of the Constitution, you could only get restitution if your previous family members, your ancestors, had lost their citizenship. So that means it had to have been taken away from them actively. Now they've opened it up with paragraph 15, which allows anyone who gave up their citizenship as well. And then people who couldn't obtain German citizenship but lived in Germany can also get restitution. So if they lived in Germany before 33 and then fled due to persecution, they can actually get their citizenship back or even obtain it for the first time because people were discriminated against.
So this is super, super flexible, but particularly in comparison to other legislation in Europe, for example, Austrian, which also recently changed, it is not as flexible. It doesn't have so many pathways, and I guess this is like a change of environment or the way that citizenship is viewed to make it more flexible, easier for people to reconnect. Would you say that it's a fair summary?
It's definitely trying to make up for past atrocities. So it's all about persecution by Nazis, and if anyone was persecuted and left due to that reason, they're now eligible. So it's not just the Jewish people, and it's not just people who ended up on the Reichsanzeigerliste, which was usually opposition to Nazi Germany. It's also people like Romani people who never got citizenship because of their heritage. So it's really broadened it up, and it's meant to be a catch-all or most for anyone who was persecuted by the Nazis.
Okay, and there are lots of complexities still, nevertheless, in the law. So we're very lucky to have you to really have understood all the intricacies of it. So in summary, Emilie, what are the main pathways of gaining citizenship in Germany?
So the first one is Feststellung, which is by descent, so determination of citizenship. That's if your parents or grandparents or great-grandparents had citizenship and didn't give it up. The next one would be declaration, which is the mothers, so the female lineage can finally pass on citizenship. Then we have restitution 1162 of the Constitution, which is if you lost your citizenship by having it taken away. Then we have restitution 15, which is the more general Nazi persecution clause that is meant to open up to people who were persecuted. We also have naturalization, which is for people who have German heritage but maybe lost it along the way, but really want to be a German and feel German and sort of take steps towards being German. It's quite a complicated process, takes a lot of work, but it's well worth it at the end of the day if you have a passion or feel like you are a German. And then our last one is Wiedereinbürgerung, which is renaturalization. So if you gave up your citizenship as a child or as an adult, you can now get your citizenship back through a process.
Okay, amazing. I don't know if you know this, Emilie, but I'm studying German. So next time we speak, I'll be fluent. But thank you. Yeah, we've got a great teacher, Nadine. So thank you for that summary, for that comprehensive overview of the changes in the law and the pathways to getting your German citizenship if you have German heritage. And I guess the naturalization, just one other question, the naturalization pathway is available to anybody. You don't even have to have German heritage, but it's super difficult in that you need to speak the language at a certain level and show a true commitment to Germany, to German diaspora. It's like a massive effort, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a huge effort.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for speaking to us, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
Thanks,